For those who don't know me, I'm John Malone. I don't know if I might have blown off poles or whatever. We've been running around working like crazy. I'm sorry if anybody couldn't get through. But I had the punishment or the pleasure, however you want to think about it, working for Lieutenant Hennig for the last couple of years. I'm not going to take up a lot of time. A few people want to say a few words, so I'll be quick. But I do want to say thank you, Lou, for everything that you've done for us and the team over there. You truly are one of the great ones. Sad to see you go. You know, you always did the right thing by us, and you gave us the opportunity to do what we had to do, and always gave us the tools to get the job done and be successful. So, you know, we do really appreciate that. You brought a sense of family to the team, which has carried on since you've left the job. You left us in good hands, which I'm sure you realize and know. We miss you a lot, and we talk about you every day, and the stories go on. So, well, we talk about you every day. The lunches aren't the same without you. Right? So I don't want to take up too much time. Thank you again for everybody coming. I just want to introduce real quick Inspector Napolitano, who worked with us for a very, very long time and recently retired, and Inspector Bryan, who went on to bigger and better things. They're just going to say a few words.
I'm Inspector Mike Bryan. I had the pleasure of being John's commanding officer for the last 5 years. I recently left to go to the Detective Bureau. And I have to tell you, John, you're like the best lieutenant that I've ever had the privilege working for me. And I'm not just saying that, you know, I really mean that. Loyalty, this man defines loyalty. Loyalty to the cops or detectives that he works for, loyalty to all the people, the bosses that he works for, loyalty to the police department. John does the right thing for everybody, and I'm going to miss the heck out of you. I wish you the best. Thank you.
I just want to echo Mike Bryan's words. I am retired 6 years, so and it does go quick. And this man's going to have a long, healthy retirement because of what he did in his life. And I can only tell you what I witnessed is astronomical police work. That I'm retired and I watch TV like all you do, and when you see things on television when they have these boards up and these people talking about some ridiculously small and like minuscule police work that's done by these agencies in Nassau County and Suffolk County and other places in America, and guys like me sit there and want to scream from the top of my lungs, you need to meet a man like John Hennig, because you've never been in the room with 3,000 kilos of cocaine with $1.5 million, 25 times over. Inspector, I'm sorry to bother you. You know, we're in the middle of New Jersey, and we got a tractor trailer stopped, and there's only 600 kilos on here. You know, how do you even begin to define, you know, what went on here to save people's lives? And you know, and the epidemic of drugs that goes on in this country, and the war that's fought on a daily basis by the silent people, and you all know this man. He's a man of few words. Well, he's a hero. He's a hero, and all those people that work for him, because they have saved lives. And we'll never know what they did because it's all up there on a big board. But let me just tell you something. Leadership, loyalty, like Mike Bryan said, and loyal to the people he worked for. Just a very, very difficult thing as a boss who does that kind of police work, to be able to take care of everyone around you and keep guys like me happy at the same time. So anyway, everybody loves the man. So.
From Sergeant Richie Carter.
First of all, I want to congratulate the Lieutenant again on your retirement. And as was already stated here, no better man. No better man. I had the good luck, the good fortune of having him as my direct supervisor my last year on the job. I can't believe we've got 14 years in a couple of weeks. But I couldn't have gotten a better guy to come in with. First day he came in, he knew everything inside out. He was fair, and he was a straight shooter. That's all you can ask for. And we did a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of bonds, but we have a bond from 9/11. We were there all day, all night. It was quite a day and quite a night. I'm sure a number of you were there also. And it was a lot of stuff to deal with. If you remember when you first got down there, it was just total mayhem. Nobody knew what was going on. Rumors, you know, the Sears building is down. Golden Gate Bridge is gone. DC is flattened. F-16's coming down the Hudson River. and everybody's going, are they ours, are they someone else's? This is a guy who kept us focused, kept us calm, and we stayed there and we did yeoman's work. And there was 4 other fellows with us, 4 detectives, Danny Middleton, Eddie St. John, Jimmy Schiavone, and the 4th guy, I'm telling you, I can't remember, he worked in the north, and I never went past to the other side, I was always on the south side, sorry. One of the 3. But he kept us focused, and I think about it, I don't talk about it that much, but I think about it from time to time, because it had to be doubly hard for him, because he's such a fireman also. And where we were like the only cops. Really, there's literally only about 5 or 6 of us over on this side, it was all firemen. And it was like only a small little area we could get through, and it was really dangerous, everything was collapsing and stuff. And we'd see firemen once in a while coming with a stretcher, you know, would carrying one of their mates with a flag on. And I always think of how eerie it was in the middle of the night. First of all, you're in that fog, that dust was choking us out, the flames are coming up out of it, looked like Dante's Inferno. But the eeriest part, and I thought about him, is how's he dealing with all these locator beepers that are going off of all the firemen that was now? And I looked at it, I said, wow, he just stayed focused, kept us on point, got us through that day and night, and you know how all that was. And that's what I always remember him for. And we get in contact every year on 9/11, and he couldn't have been a better man. And when I heard where he was going to, major case, I said, man, he's gonna do a bang-up job. And obviously he did, and I know that the people here from the fire department have nothing but the same thing to say about him. So I just want to congratulate you again, and thanks for being a great boss.
On that note, from the fire department, Bob Dunwoody. Who? I said it right. You guys are killing
Before I go on any further, what I do want to do is have a buddy of mine come up too. Ex-Chief Charlie Yeager, when he has a chance, because as we'll get to it, Charlie and John were chiefs of this fire department together, and it has a lot to do with what I'm going to say. But the thunder is stolen. Loyalty is the key word for this man. I met this guy when he was early 20s. Shortly after shortly after that, he joined Floodlight, and within a matter of a year or 2, people here that are with us, it's a quick story, but we just got a letter back from a perfect case for him, and it's going to make me really get a little upset, but there was a lightning strike on July 4th, and John had to be, he was 23, 24, and a young Jewish kid was struck by lightning, 7 years old. Mayhem, crazy. Him, he's my first lieutenant. Tommy Barnes, my second lieutenant. I was captain, and they call me Who because I'm never around, because I was working in the city all the time. They and a fellow in the company who also became a chief is John Bushing, saved his kid's life. We got a letter yesterday in the mail showing, and it said on it, what you guys do, you don't know, but you can see now. Here's this guy 25 years later at a wedding. Right in the wedding picture, best man to his brother's wedding, and he said, all because of you. And there was a picture of John there when he was in this picture, next to the wheelchair, taking him out of the hospital, and then there's the picture next to him with his kids at the wedding. This is what he does. He graduated from Floodlight, he became my lieutenant, saved me 1,000 times over. Beyond that, just one of the most loyal guys I know since the guy that founded our company, Henry Ripple. I would say he's the next Henry Ripple of Floodlight. He's the best guy I've ever known. Honest, sincere, true friend. I can't say enough about him, and has bailed me out, continues to bail me out. I'm captain again now, and he's right there for me, just like he was my lieutenant. And he said, I'll be there for you, don't worry about it. And when he was chief, he eventually rose up to the level of chief of our fire department, and beyond chief, he is now in line to be the Nassau County Fire Commissioner, which is the highest position you can get as a volunteer fireman in Nassau County. That just says something about John Henry. That's the guy he is. And he's going to go beyond that, and he has no more loyalty than anybody in my company. And that's my go-to guy. And I'd just like Charlie to come up, who was with him for a long time, and we have a lot of laughs together. I went to high school with Charlie, but these two guys were chiefs together and ran this fire department, and I only wish you could be there with a beer and listen to some of the funny stories they have, but I'm sure he wants to give a little something for the guy that was behind him too.
Before Charlie starts, 'cause I know he's going. 4 years in the police office behind Charlie, and I carried him the whole way. The trouble is that you're not gonna be able to walk out of this place, your head's gonna be so big. John, all I gotta say is I told you everything I knew. Good afternoon. Still got 20 minutes. And just that you were a heck of a deputy chief to me. You're always there for me too. And all I gotta say is congratulations, and you're doing a hell of a job. And the other thing that John was also instrumental with the Burn Center for Nassau County. He and I started with that, get it going, and that's getting to be a bigger and bigger thing every year. So that does an awful lot. That's all I got.
Here from John's family, Jennifer.
Good afternoon, Jim. All right, Jim. Give me a beer.
I have to read, I'm sorry. Without saying too much, we, John's nieces and nephews, and for that matter, the rest of our family, want to say how proud we are of you for serving the streets of New York City for so many years. Being a police officer is something that our family has always held in its highest regards. We respect the work of him, but also each and every one of you in this room. There's never a day that goes by that we're really not thankful. But tonight is about our brother, our uncle, our godfather, and a son. We want you to know that you have gone above and beyond for all of us in this family. Ever since we were kids, you've always made it so obvious how important each and every one of us was to you. And this hasn't changed. Please.
Good, Jen.
You know my Uncle John?
I totally left that all out. I'm sorry.
You're good,
You've
Jen.
been such a sense of support for us all of our lives. I don't think you missed one of our graduations, whether it be high school, college, or graduate school. You supported our sporting and extracurricular events, whether it be an NCAA game in Texas, Oneonta, a baseball game in New Paltz, or Hickey Field, a disgustingly hot swim meet at St. John's, a dance recital, or a music concert. Whether you enjoy them or not, we'll never know. All we know is that you were there, and we're grateful for that. We could go on and on, but what we really want to say is thank you. Thank you for picking up the phone when we called and needed you. Thank you for being such a great planner of family events.
Yep.
Thank you for never being too busy for any of us. You're an excellent example to all of us that hard work and dedication to your family and career can bring much happiness to your life.
You made me cry, Jen. Jen, I'm crying.
You look up and it's like all these people.
I don't remember the years, because I guess time goes so fast. I believe we came to the 103 in 1998. Before John came there, we had, 103 was a great house, always was a good house, and then we had a CO who morale came really crushing down. If I mention the name, everybody would be like, oh, and I'll say Gunther. He was the CEO of the 103. And he moved on, and I believe after Gunther, we had Steve Powers. Steve Powers, and did you come there with Steve Powers? Or you came with Mullen? Mullen? Or when did you get there?
I got there with Gunther.
You did get there with Gunther, and you know, a lot of lieutenants were kind of intimidated by him, and John was very quiet. And you became administrative lieutenant? very hard work. And then after Gunther got there, then we had Steve Powers, and we had Mullen, and after Mullen, we had, not Thurston yet, Thurston, yes. But John, even when Gunther was there, John was always level-headed, whatever. I was the PBA delegate there. And Gunther made me a great delegate. There's a lot of issues there. But I used to go to John a lot, go up to his office and give him little notes and discuss things on how people are not getting treated right. And he said, well, take care of it. And a long story short, I'm not gonna talk too long. The man always never rattled. He never got worried about Gunther. He never really, excuse the language, I would say, F with people. He controlled it really well at his position. So I would say he really changed the 103 to make it a really back to morale that it's supposed to be, and it was a great house. So thank you, John, because you really did a great job as administrative lieutenant there, and I appreciate it. He made me a good delegate, made me look good. Lieutenant, but he was a good stand-up police officer. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna bring up one more, last one, guys, I promise. The bar is getting slow over here. Sergeant Chris Owen, he's my sergeant right now. He's the current sergeant of the team that Lieutenant most recently left, the Queens Major Case team.
Good evening, everybody. It's very tough to follow. Great things have been said about Lieutenant Hennig, so I'm not going to talk too long. I was going to say, he brought me into the Major Case unit. He showed me how things work, and he's been a great boss, mentor. I mean, I can't even begin to explain the things he's taught me about how things work, about these high-level narcotic cases that the inspector was talking about, how those cases work, how to put them together, and try and continue to do that with a lot of these guys over here right now. Try and continue that work, honor the great work Lieutenant Hennig's done, and try and keep that going. And that the boss he was, or is, but I'll try to be. He also taught me, as the inspector mentioned, the art of calling the boss when you're 2 states away and explaining how you did a car stop and what you got. And I try and, that was a great thing to tell me, and I'm still trying to carry that on. So just like to say thank you. On behalf of the Major Case team, everything you've done for all of us over the years, thank you very much. Major Case guys, current Major Case guys, everybody come on up. We got a couple of things we want to give the boss, and you know, you guys just want to come up real quick. Anybody who's a Major Case guy, ex-guys who work for him, anybody wants to come up? Anybody else is going to be here?
Oh, where's the camera? It's right here. What? Sure. I was pretty good. You know what else you got?
I laughed. There's about 6,000 years of this work up there. These guys, some of these guys. All right, Lou, if you can come on up. We reached out to the Lieutenants Benevolent Association. They were unable to come this evening, but they sent along a testimonial of appreciation. Lieutenant Commander John Hennig, in grateful acknowledgement of your conscientious service, devotion, and loyalty to the organization. It's a symbol of our respect and esteem, and a testimonial of our sincere wishes for your continued good health and success.
To drive around with that flag.
Lieutenant Benevolent Association. Along with that, we want to present you with a retired duplicate Lieutenant Shield. And I'll read this to you. It says, New York City Police Department presented to Lieutenant John Hennig, appointed January 4th, 1984, retired July 1st, 2015. In recognition of your many years of service to the New York City Police Department, congratulations and best wishes upon your retirement from all your friends and colleagues at Queens Narcotics. Congratulations. So with that, that, thank you again for everybody for coming. The bar's still open. We're here for a little while. All right, go ahead. The lieutenant would like to say a few words, so get a drink.
Get a drink, all right? We only have 5 more minutes to go, all right?
I'm exhausted.
I only have a few notes here, so I'll be very quick, because I can't thank everybody else for what they said, being true or not, but it meant a lot, thank you. Inspector Brian, and we've gone through a lot together, to say the least. Inspector Capitano, it's amazing the fights we did together, the fighting, well, I shouldn't say fighting, dealing with downtown, what everyone else, yeah. And dealing with, of course, the feds, and you name it, we fought with everybody. But I'll get to that in a quick second. If I can, I want to take a couple minutes to kind of run through a little bit of what I've been doing for the last 32 years. Why I can't believe how many people showed up tonight. Seems like yesterday. I shouldn't say that, no, it seems like a long time ago. January 4th, 1984, I was in Manhattan, FIT.
I'm in Cambodia.
I've been born yet? I didn't say my name, don't worry. And there's some people in the room, one being Louis right here, was with me down, waiting outside FIT, and someone of us had to do, get the haircut, maybe shorter than that. And, to go and get sworn in. Who knew what was going to happen next? You get through that. The academy ended up in NSU 16. They called NSU back then. I don't know if FTU or Tracer, I don't know how it is anymore. It comes down to, again, ended up with Louis and Joey Z and Tommy Galati, who's hopefully will show up pretty shortly though. Again, that's 31 years ago. It comes down to that. For the time there, that time we covered a lot of precincts throughout Queens, the 115, the 110, and went through there. A great place to end up learning the job. From there, I went to the 115. It had just opened up, 1984, and I got to the 115. I spent 5 years, just about 5 years in the 115. And the beauty of the 115, and it really reflects a lot today, is there's a young cop there learning the job. I got to know Louis and Joey. We ended up at anti-crime together. And George Pillio, our sergeant, who may be here, and with Tommy Galati, and we ended up being anti-crime. And here I am, a young cop from Long Island, in the middle of, back in the early 80s, mid-80s, in Queens, and doing amazing work. I learned from these guys. That's where I learned how to be a street cop. I was so lucky to have these guys and go through that time together and learn what we did. It was amazing. And the proof of that is the fact that here we are 32 years later on, and they're still my best friends. So that's quite a testament to that. For the 115, yes. 115, we all studied for sergeant together in the 115. Anti-crime, so we all took our turn, we got it done. And Joey was the first one to get promoted to sergeant. I don't understand that you got notified you get promoted. Well, I got to see CCRB that day. I'm not quite sure, but Tommy and Louis did what they had to do. I took the heat for it, but we ended up all getting promoted to sergeant. I ended up going up, well, I went to the 19th first, I spent about a month there. Very nice place on the east side, very nice place to work. But I spent maybe 3.5 weeks there. I got a phone call from roll call, so you transferred to 3-2. Yeah, 3-2, how 3-2? Oh my God. What the hell's a 3-2? Okay. I had no idea what it was. Ended up being one of the best moves of my life that they did to me. Ended up going up to the middle of Harlem, back in the 80s. Not a place you wanted to be, to say the least. And here I am, this young kid from Long Island, brand new sergeant. I ended up in the 3-2 precinct in the middle of Harlem, in the middle of the Crock Wars. And that's, you had to be to experience and understand really what I'm saying, how much that really is, how bad it was up there. The 3-2 precinct was on 135 Street. It was occupied, the only occupied building, everything else was burnt out. The storefront church a little bit down the front of the block, and there was a little, I wouldn't even call it bodega, but we went for coffee when we cooked. There was nothing else there. Completely burnt out. If you go there now, you'd be amazed at the townhouses that are there from that point. I ended up meeting some of the best cops you could ever imagine. A lot of them are here. Ira, Frank, Pat, Timmy, Phil, some of the greatest guys you could ever imagine. And they were younger than me, but yet they had more time in Harlem than I did. I ended up working with some of the best people like you could ever imagine in the middle of Harlem. And We were not welcome there. It's a whole different world back then. But we were the only thing between us and them, it came down to it. And these guys did, the table over here, table 2, and all those guys did absolutely amazing stuff day in and day out. And I had the privilege of being their supervisor, their sergeant. And they taught me how to do it. And that's really where I learned how to be a sergeant, a street sergeant. Because it's, one thing I do remember, in 1990, the New Yorker magazine came out at the time. There's a picture of gone on the whole bit there. And the 3-2 precinct, like per capita, 3-2 precinct was 5 blocks. 5 blocks are about 15 blocks. That's about it. That's how small it was, but it was packed. Per capita was the most violent precinct in the city of New York, ultimately equaled the country. The 7-5 rival us, because the 7-5 was about 10 times bigger. But the 3-2 was that crazy. But I always remember that. And these guys went in and day out, did our job, and they were just amazing at what they did. And one thing about the 3-2 that really left an impression on me, up there with Alman Rosso, Louis Anamone, Will Danes way back when. And again, the 3-2 was in the middle of an abandoned block. There's nothing else there. Dirty, burned out, built all over the place. You went to the 3-2, you did roll call. You all got nailed for it, I noticed. You went to roll call, you had your haircut, your shoes shined, you looked good. And that was back when you mustered up in the muster room, you marched out in front of the desk, and then you took the post. You left that precinct looking like cops. And that always left an impression on me. You go out to one of the worst places in the world, but you look good, they kept you on top of it. They kept you that we were the police. Terry Tony, God rest his soul. Terry Tony unfortunately passed away, but he taught us those lessons. We were out there in the middle of, we were digging through empty lots. The shoes were signed, shoes were signed. And that was important. I thought that's a very important thing. But the guys did an amazing job up there. So many of you here tonight, again, that's going back 25 years. That we're here, we're still friends, and we still tell the stories. And Ira's here, of course, the worst car I ever had. Chase a stolen car, the FDR, on the Harlem River. The only parked car in the entire block. You hit it. You hit it. Very fortunate. Tony was a duty captain. And more than I thought, a lot of you was a sergeant. So, he didn't walk too long. But that was a great time in the 3-2. Got out of the 3-2, got to the 109. 109 was great. I went to 6 years in the 109. Up in Flushing, Whitestone area, went the whole area over there. And it was a big change. From one of the smallest precincts in the city to one of the largest. You had to take 3 expressways to get to a job. How big it was. But what a change it was there. 109, as opposed to the 3-2 being the most violent, the 109 was known as the GLO capital pretty much of the world. They stole cars there, by the dozens, by the hour up there. Very fortunately, Inspector Mansfield decided to make a GLA team. I got the job as sergeant. I took in Joe Burns, Joe Diaz, Pat Delaney is here, Jeff Katz's not here tonight, and we ended up being a GLA team, which is basically an anti-crime group. And what a great time that was. A couple times it wasn't, but it was an amazing time though. We all kind of learned together, and best times, yeah. And what the fact is, you never really could chase any cars in the city. That was never really allowed. Pursuits weren't allowed. But we pursued more cars than they ever knew about. And what was nice was that whatever tour we worked, they knew we were out there, and they listened to us. And they knew when we were chasing somebody. And we had tremendous amount of chases, pursuits, locked up a lot of people, and it really made a difference. Now it's a whole different place right now. But that definitely is a reflection of what these guys did. It really was amazing. When I was that time there, what a great place. But at 109, I ended up getting promoted, and then to 103, as Jimmy said. And that was great. I mean, the 103 was the place I wanted to go when I came out of the academy, but you couldn't get there. It was considered an A house. It was the busiest houses in Queens. And, that's the place you wanted to go. I ended up going as a lieutenant. And as Jimmy said, I ended up going there. Al Murphy. Where are you, Al? I'll give you Al. Take a bow. These are the reasons why I would give you Al. Sorry, I'll be a break. You look the same back then, too. So we put that together. We got to the beginning of power. I ended up becoming the administrative lieutenant. That's the operations coordinator now. And what that does, you run the day-to-day operations of the building. I never wanted that job.